Mark Dinesh and Connor Thomas. This play's a little surprising. When Mr. Grant was forwarding the scripts to me, and then when we were talking about it, he said, "Now there is this one play, it's about a toenail." And you start reading the script, you start, what is going on here? What is this? And yet, the reaction that you got from the audience tonight tells you better than anything that I can say how you made that work. And the audience loved what they saw there in its bizarre way. So let me sit down. Now, Connor Thomas was one of the playwrights and co-director as well. He was Firmblebruns, the hobgoblin. And of course, I mean, he was everything you would imagine a hobgoblin to be. I suppose. I mean, he has the physical presence of a contortionist. A very physical performance that was, I mean, of course, you couldn't take your eyes off him when he was on stage. That was really, really impressive. But there's something about that. Now, when you're casting things in a high school, you take what you get. You know, you have a few friends and you try to get them, and sometimes you have to squeeze someone in. But I was very struck in the casting that you put together for this about the variety of physical forms and physical capacities you had, and how they worked so well together. I mean, you weren't thinking of, oh, well, they had to have someone fill that role, so they got their best friend, they put in that in, but it didn't really work. But no, I mean, you had, as I said, the hobgoblin, and then you had little Diego here sort of worried and nervous about things, and then when Tony the Toenail comes out with his Jersey accent, I guess, isn't it? And he's got his own presence. I mean, he's the only, like, who else could possibly stand up to the hobgoblin but Tony the Toenail with his Jersey accent? So it was like when, you know, you hired Hollywood casters to get this variety of bodies and abilities up there. That was very, very impressive. I should say also that on the form that they fill out for series, they have to say what is the genre of it. Now we can have fun with this, and I'd ask you to please guess what you think it is. They called it a dystopian dark comedy. And here's what I found myself, I didn't read some stuff I wrote down those. What they do in this piece, and you're not necessarily entirely aware of it as you're reading through this stuff, but as it unfolded and we saw it happening, you realize that what was happening here was they were creating an alternate universe. As do many very great pieces of literature and drama, things like Lord of the Rings, things like the Star Wars saga. They create alternate universes. And this is a universe where there are child tyrants, hobgoblins. It's a universe that had its own arcane moral rules. Because when that hobgoblin starts talking about what toenails are all about, it turns out it's all about morality. It's about good and evil. And when we realize that this world's all working together, we start to get into it and we accept its premises. I mean, what could be more absurd than the premises of Lord of the Rings? Or the premises of Star Wars? Those are bizarre too, but once you get into those series, you accept, okay, well, those come orcs, and I know orcs are trouble, and we know that that's the way these things are going to unfold. We come to accept the premises of the alternate universe that has been created. That's precisely what this play was able to do. It made us accept it. I mean, there was always surprises, like you never know what's going to happen next, but yeah, sure, of course that would be Of course you want to phone your dad, or you want to Twitter out at the a message to your followers at the end. You phone your dad and there'd be no reception. Well, of course. It happens. And so that, that comes off as funny. I mean, think of any ordinary play, oh, I'm trying to phone someone about it, not going to have any cell reception. Well, that wouldn't be a huge joke. But it's pretty funny when in this world, it's just like when you get that ball rolling for us, okay, We will go with it. And just continuing sort of this sort of semi-serious note I'm putting on this it's about morality, it's about good and evil, and then they have like a sacrificial solution at the end. They, like George Lucas or like Tolkien or any of these people, there's a strong sense. I mean, I'm not saying they went off and they studied this in the library, how to do this, but a strong sense of mythology and the forms of literature. There we have this sacrificial thing at the end. And then what do we get at the end? A discussion of how to solve the problem of evil in the world by Toenail. And the voice of his dad speaks to him from the grave at the end, just like Harry Potter has a conversation with Dumbledore, and there's probably dead people talk to people as well. So this is like this thing, which seems so unconventional, so weird, is actually shot through with a sense of how this sort of stuff works, how this sort of literature works. Okay, I mean, I don't have to hammer you with this, but you had those stupid blackouts again. And you had the tongue clicks. And of course, you know what happens. You have the tongue clicks, and the audience think that's really funny. So the audience starts doing the tongue clicks as well. Can't do that. Can't do that. Well, that was a boy, did we enjoy your play. Thank you very much.